Clean bottom and a good dump, that's what I'm after. Here we go. Today in the wood yard, we're gonna take this wood and we're gonna make it look like this wood. Nice and purty. Here we go. So yesterday you saw that I had started a new stacking technique, I guess you'd have to say. The idea I got from Midwest Firewood, where they take a pallet and you basically make a corner where you put a brace like this right here with a pallet standing up and then a brace across the back, and then just do your runs going that direction. And you saw, if you were watching, which you should have, that Dave was here, my favorite YouTube firewood friend, because he comes and helps me because he wants exercise. It's a great guy, Dave. And so we got this far, and what I'm going to do today, and it's also at the end of the day today like it was yesterday, I only got a couple hours left of daylight, maybe two and a half. What I'm going to do is I'm going to extend out another pallet going this direction, and then I'm going to put down a vertical pallet that I'm going to secure in place, and that will separate three rows of 16 feet. So I'll have a two-face cord, or 2/3 of a cord, 2/3 of a cord, 2/3 of a cord, because I sell a lot of two-face cord loads. So each of these rows that will be separated right here will then, going that direction, will be a 2/3 row. And then from right here where I start, when I start with my next row going that way, I'm going to do a full cord. So I'm going to have 3 8-foot long rows, and I will have 3 1/3 cord rows that make a full cord. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to try to do full cord rows where we do 3 rows together, and then just continue with the pile going that direction. Now we started right over in here because there was a lot of wood in here, and so what I'm going to do now is, because this wood that's underneath the tarp here is already dry, ready to be sold, so I'm not going to stack that, but everything over here can be sold, or needs to be dried, I should say. So I'm going to put another pallet down here, like I said. We're going to continue that way for 1 more cord, but then we're going to hit out into this area where there's not a lot of wood here because it's all over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start back over this way, and we're going to make a little bit of a space so I can walk between it and have the wind flow through. And then we're going to do another series just like this, go in this direction, and just keep them going until it's stacked. What I have discovered by having the pallet on the end with the brace holding it up, without doing the crisscrossing and without having to do the 4 corners when I crisscross on a full cord, it saves a ton of time. It's probably going to save me between 20 and 30% of my stacking time. And yes, once again, it is snowing out. Just like yesterday, it was snowing. I don't know why it has to keep doing that. The grass is growing now. Don't they know it's supposed to stop? And there's a big dark cloud coming this way up there, so I got a feeling that there's going to be a bunch more snow coming, so that'll be fun. So anyway, gonna throw a pallet down, gonna start stacking right now. All right, this row is done. So what I did, as you saw, is we went from that end to here is 16 feet. And then from here to there is 8 more feet. So I got a full cord here and I've got 2 full cords there. And what I'm going to do next is, if you look down underneath my feet here, I got tons of debris. So I'm going to get this cleaned up right in here, and I'm going to put a pallet down somewhere right in here, and then I'm going to start building on it right away without making a corner on it, because I'm going to go this direction. So I put a corner down over here and then run that way, because I want to go into this wood here and get as much of this as possible right in this area stacked, and then run that direction, because I want the wood to be on this end more than that end. So that's what I'm going to do, is we're going to start cleaning up, get the debris hauled out of here, make it look pretty, so I can go take a dump with the wood back there and get the bottom cleaned up. Clean bottom and a good dump, that's what I'm after. Here we go. Well, folks, it appears as if the sun has gone down and it's starting to get a little bit dark out. My back hurts. I've been bending over a lot today and I'm starving. So here's what I got done. I finished this pile and I started this pile. So what I'm going to do is tomorrow I'm going to put another pallet right here, and then I'm going to bring all that wood onto here, and then I'll probably put one more pallet and then do an end down here, and then I'll just work my way that direction. Now tomorrow I have at least 8, maybe 9, 10 hours that I should be able to work on this, unless something comes up. But my plan is to stack until my hands bleed tomorrow. So come back for that tomorrow. You'll see bleeding hands probably. So that is it for today, folks. Thanks for watching, and I'd appreciate it if you do some poking of the buttons. Sharing is the big one, and watching as much as possible. I like that. And tomorrow I'll be back here. You should be back here. Between now and then, get outside, get cutting. Good night to Irene.